Was it an interesting experience?
Yeah.
Very good. Let's hear.
Oh my, I'm still kind of like, okay, so I was having a difficult time to going back into another life. And I just kept having like happy memories, you know, good times, special moments. And I was like, okay, you know, I was like really trying to go further, deeper and further back. And suddenly, I heard or I felt a voice tell me, I don't want you to see any life that has been tragic today or right now because you're pregnant. And we're only gonna see happy, like good moments. And then I scooped my baby in my hands and I was made of light. And I scooped the little person in my hands and that little person was made of light. And then somewhere in that transition of just light and whatever you were saying, I was connecting to what I was experiencing. And suddenly the soul of my unborn was communicating with me. And the life that was reviewed was the life before this life of the baby. And the life that we saw, or that he showed me, was a life of a man that was 45 and died in a nature hike, but decided to end his life then because he knew that I was ready to have another baby and wanted to be with me again. And so once we went to the light, it was reviewed that we had been the same thing before, as in he had been my son and I had been the mother, and that life was great. So we want to re-experience that same life, or the same harmony that we had in that life before. And somehow throughout the transition, what you were saying, I was kind of like hypnotizing the baby. And the soul of that baby, like I said, was talking to me. And at a point, he said, "You don't have to repeat it. I could hear her." That he could hear you.
Absolutely. That's who is present with you here, you know. So when I guide, the soul follows too. Wow.
Oh my God, it was just so amazing. And I told him, I was like, help me remember everything that you're telling me so I could share it because it's so amazing.
Yes,
and so when we went to the light and we met up with our spiritual guide, and he told us that his name was Sam, or it can be said the other way, which is like Mass or Psalm, or it was something like that. And then so we went through the whole motion, but we went together the whole time that we went to the tree and the river and the source.
And how did you experience the river?
The river was a river of bubbles. And when we got to the source, and my baby went with me, and then we saw everybody there that we knew or people that we needed to forgive. And I saw people that had been in the life that he had before this one, that he needed to forgive. And the reason why he also chose to end that life, the lesson, was that he was very much into like nature and nature walks and healing people with like natural foods and, you know, like a holistic practice. But in that process, he kind of wasn't balancing that too well. So he like never married or had children. So he needed to kind of end that, to start over, and wanted to continue the healing practice, and which was another reason why he wanted to come back now with me to help him. And then reminded me that, because my mom was like, why are you going to go take the hypnotherapy course right now? We have so many things going on. And I told my mom, I said, if I don't do it now, you know, I'm not sure when I'll be able to do it again, so I need to do it now. It doesn't matter. Everything else has to be on hold. And he told me, he said, you know, that's why it was so important for you to take the hypnotherapy class now, that I'm with you, like inside of you.
So you can experience
And so we could experience it together, because this is going to help us both, like in this life, in our life. It was just
hard to come up with something like that. Right?
hard to come up with something like that, and as I'm experiencing it and feeling it, because I had no control over the response of what I was getting from my baby's soul. That was really, really for a second, like my conscious mind was like, wow, it's amazing how we're having this conversation right now.
Exactly.
And the person that you regressed was not me, was
Him.
the baby.
It's so amazing how you experienced your baby's previous life and how he was able to connect with this regression and regress
Yes.
together with you to show you his life.
Yes. So that's going to be really interesting once he can speak. You know, if I just notice, because I guess that was another thought that I had, which was that I want to be able to, take the right steps into making sure that, I harmonize his life, in the best way possible. So this is a great way to kind of get a little insight of things that I need to do. So that was just
beautiful. How did you perceive the tree of life?
We were kind of sitting on branches, and the spiritual guide was there. I'm kind of like a little shaky. And in the tree of life, I saw like my family and people that I needed to forgive, and the people that he needed to forgive for the life that ended before this one. And that was really cool, because that was kind of like a strange face, like not faces that I wasn't really too familiar with. And then the spiritual guide said, so then we go into the river, and it's like bubbles, like crystalline bubbles. And we're all kind of just like flowing, and I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And then when you said to go to the source, it's like, it was 3 of us, the spiritual guide, me and the soul of my baby. And then when we went in, he became violet and smaller, and went inside of my white bubble, like light bubble. And then we went into the source, following Psalm. And then it was just like an infinite, room, I don't know, like just infinite, no walls. And it was like roots of like electricity kind of looking. And it was just infinite. And it kind of reminded me of like the Grand Canyon, but just not in those colors. But it was just like vast, like never ending. And the spiritual guide took us to like where we can oversee everything that was going on. And then that's when we said, thank you for showing us. And he's like, thank you for coming back. Come whenever you want, and we'll see each other again. And then that's when we all came back. So the moment that I realized that I was connecting with the baby that way, that's when I put my hands on my belly.
Yes, I noticed that.
Do you remember when you did the thing that you touched us?
I touched
which
both
point
of you.
was that one?
That was I hadn't felt the...
As
It
soon
was
as
soon
she
after
touched me, all my
It was soon
ethereal
after.
body along area was very long, and it just came off from these hands. It came off out of the body experience, and I started to feel something on my belly. Somebody was walking here, but I felt I was scared because I'm like, I'm like, is this the T-shirt, or is the wind or something? But no, because he was there and he was like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
The
is...
soul was playing with you guys, was walking.
Oh
back.
my God. Yeah, because...
I kind of got scared a little
Yeah,
bit, so I
like-
started hyperventilating. You didn't notice? For a minute, but then I calmed down.
That's weird because I felt
I
that on
was-
my pants, something going like this.
Nice.
Was it my hand?
No. Because I think the hand was next to
There it
mine.
was right here.
Like I got
He's having
But it
fun with
wasn't
all of
hard
you,
though.
right?
No, it was like
Little
somebody
steps.
tapping there like this, but it was physical. There was
You
someone
felt
there.
it,
Yeah.
And another interesting thing,
As soon as
too,
it's like, as
Yeah,
soon as she touched me, it's like
I did
she
it
was
together,
making
and I touched
something.
both of you. I went like this. And then soon after that, I was like, okay, relax my hands. And then I started feeling the thing of, okay, like, you're not going to see anything traumatic right
Yes.
now.
Oh, okay,
And
so
then
that's
it all...
started.
But it happened like a switch. Like from trying to, like having all these thoughts and clearing this, that, to boom, message. And when I was face up, I kind of started feeling like, oh man, I think I'm going to have to roll to the side because I started feeling like a little pressure. And I was like, I'm going to have to roll to the side because I don't think I'm going to be comfortable like this for very long. But as soon as that happened, where I started connecting with the baby, like this was complete, nothing, no physical discomfort, in other words. That was unbelievable.
And the hearing.
I was like hypnotizing the baby.
Even if you're still shaking.
Yeah, because, I mean, I wasn't
So
shaking
powerful,
until I got up right now. But it
It's so
was just
powerful,
really,
right?
really amazing.
Well, welcome into this world. Little cutie.
How many months?
Beautiful soul.
3 months. And then he also said that he's going to bring more harmony for me and my kids and everybody that I'm around.